Hi everybody, Allie here for Technique Tuesday with Scrap and Stamp. Today we're going to be talking about watercolor powder and using a jelly plate. Today we're going to be using the Brusho assorted colors, and let me show you what they look like. These ones come in a little pot type form, and for my ease of trying to find colors, I've actually put a little piece of watercolor paper on the top indicating the color, and I've only pierced the top instead of taking off the lids. They can actually tear off the bottom and the lid can unscrew, but you only need a little bit at a time, so I figured a smaller opening would be adequate. We've got our larger size jelly plate, and we're going to bring in a series of 3. We have purple, we have Prussian blue, and our third color will be our gorgeous sea green. So we're just going to open up those tops. Again, it's a thumbtack basically pushed in. We're going to take off all of those lids, and we're just going to set those aside. And some of them are a little thicker than others, so they're harder to get off. Okay, I'm going to start with the lightest color. I'm going to start with our green, and I'm going to sprinkle it very lightly. You don't need a lot. This is very concentrated color, so it's like using a salt and pepper shaker. And we're going to put on our central color, our blue, and then we're going to sprinkle on that purple color. There we go. And again, you don't need a lot for this. They're very concentrated. That's part of the beauty of them. I'm just trying to get kind of an even coating across that jelly plate. Now we're going to bring in our water sprayer here. And it's nice to have a nice fine mist to do this. And I'm just going to make sure everything's kind of wet. And watch the vibrancy of this pigment. We're going to use some watercolor paper because we are using a fair amount of moisture, so watercolor paper is just going to help aid in the fact that we've got a lot of water on there. Look at that color, from our purple to our blue to our sea green there. Just make sure I didn't have any white corners or white spots. I just dunked that in. And we're going to set that one off to dry. We're going to do another color palette here. We've got our purple and violet this time. And we've got terracotta, which is kind of a pinky reddish color. So again, we're just going to pull those caps off. And you can see my hands are dyed. It's a watercolor pigment, so eventually it will just wash off. All right. Let's put on that pinky color, that terracotta. Again, we're just sprinkling across that jelly plate. And then we're going to put on our violet. And this one seems to be a very, very fine version of the powder. Some of them have larger crystals than others. And then we're going to put on our purple. There we go. Liberal amount, and of course we're going to add our spritzes of water across our jelly plate to activate those pigments. Wonderful. And let's put on our piece of cardstock. And you can use the leftover ink that's on your palette. I've done that for each of my jelly plate presses here. Yeah, that's vibrant. It's so beautiful. I've actually gone in with a second piece of watercolor paper for each one of my color palettes today and made sure to press right into the corners all the way on the back just to make sure that we're picking up as much ink off that surface as possible. And of course you can always go in and dip again, which I've done in some of my corners there, and just picking up more ink, and wowzers. So we have Nuvo shimmer powders, which are also the same kind of product. There's also color burst powders. Again, same watercolor type powders. You squeeze and go. All right, these are the final cards that I used to make my backgrounds with. We've got a pretty little mermaid from Sweet November Stamps. We've got a Stay Cozy little girl from All in Create. I've also embossed that background as well, just to add a little bit more dimension along with those embossed snowflakes. All right, and my third card, which I didn't show, this is using 3 colors, a bluish, a greenish, and a yellow. And this is featuring some of my favorite stamps, little owls. And there we go, guys. 3 very fun and very inky backgrounds for 3 cool cards. Thanks for joining me today. Make sure to hit that subscribe and that thumbs up, and feel free to leave me a comment. Have a great day.